Hello, my creative peeps, and welcome to Creative Week 59. So I started out this week by making a journal page that I was giving to a lady that I did the custom journal for. If you didn't see the custom journal I created for her, I will leave it linked in a card so you can check it out. But she had asked me to do kind of a first page for her in her journal to kind of break the ice and give her some inspiration. And I agreed to do it on a separate sheet of paper so that she could put it anywhere in the journal that she wanted. And I thought that was a really cool idea. So her journal was vintage and pink. So I started out with this pink blushing color from Dina Wakley, of course, my current obsession still. And I also used my, let me find it, my golden fluid acrylic in the teal color. And I love these high flow acrylics. They're almost like an acrylic ink, but more on the painty side. My problem is I can never seem to keep the freaking thing closed properly. So I've lost probably half the bottle of paint and 2 baby wipes and wiping off my desk, which for those of you that may be familiar with this paint know it is like $11 a bottle or something outrageous like that. So dumping it all over your desk is not ideal, but you know, I just can't seem to learn, I guess. So next I am using this Dina Wakley collage paper, which, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. It's like not tissue paper, but not wax paper. It's kind of in the middle. And the patterns are black and white, super neutral, mixed with everything. And there's actually like 10 sheets of blank in the pack, so might try to print on some, maybe. We'll see how that goes, but that won't be an adventure for today. So yeah, I just kind of collaged some of her peoples on there, and then I wanted to make just, you know, a collage cluster like I do. And I just pulled out a bunch of things that I thought that I might want to use and kind of set them aside. And then I found these eyes, and I was like, of course, I have to use eyes. And I really like this. It's a graphic 45 mermaid under the sea themed paper, which I am still hoarding. I think I only used like 5 sheets out of the pack, and I've had it for like 3 years now, but shh, don't tell anybody. But this is a scrap from one of the pieces that I used last year. Yes, you heard that correctly. So I'm layering the eye on it. And then I took some more Dina Wakley paint in this gray color, I believe it's called Elephant, and just made some patches over the top. Still working on my layers per usual. I try to be patient and let the layers dry in between, but that doesn't always work out very well because, yeah, I'm Leanne. So I faffed around a lot with this collage to go on top. The image was kind of on a slant, and I wanted to keep that, and I also wanted to let the fishtails or fish fins show. So I think I positioned it well enough, and then I thought long about the quote. Well, I didn't think about it. I just auditioned a bunch of different pieces and didn't really find any that I liked, so I just used half of a brown label and collaged that on there. And then I ended up using Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers and making my own quote, of course. I think it ended up saying, "Be uniquely you," or something like that. Not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know. The page is on my Instagram. I'm looking on my phone. I can't read it from that in that small print, but yeah, so the page is on my Instagram. My Instagram is always linked in the description box below if you want to see it more up close. And then I did an inky border, and I added some stars, I believe, as well. Just drew some stars on there, and I think that was the entire page. I thought about doing other things, but it just wasn't gonna happen. So I hope Phoenix likes it, and that, you know, it gives her some inspiration in her journal. So I've gotten several questions before of you guys asking me about my filming setup, because maybe you want to start your own channel or whatever. It's super simple, it doesn't even warrant its own video, so we're just going to throw it into this one. I have a tripod that I bought on Amazon for like $20-something. We'll leave that linked below for you so you can check it out if you want. I have this set of studio lights that comes with two umbrellas though. So my third one I just use for travel. So I have those lights. I also got those on Amazon for around $50, I think. I don't know if they still are $50, but again, I will leave them linked in the description box below so you can check them out if you want. And then I either film on my desktop, obviously, or I go to the Dollar Tree and I get white foam core board. And it's literally $1 for a piece of foam core. I use one side for mixed media to protect my desk, and I use the other white side for taking photos, or filming more, you know, presentable flip throughs and stuff. And then when it gets really gross, I just kind of, you know, chop it up and away it goes, and I spend $1 to buy another one, but it lasts me a really long time. So yeah, that's my setup. I film and edit everything currently on my cell phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy S6 Active. I'll leave it linked below so you can check out like the camera specs and compare it to your phone if you want or whatever to see if it's close. But I just film using the camera on my phone, and then I use an app called Video Editor, very scientific, and that's how I edit my videos. I'm hoping to upgrade, but that's what I've used for pretty much my entire time I've been on YouTube, and it works well enough. So I hope that helps you guys out and answers your questions. Check below for all the deets. Alright, so those of you know, I've been blabbing about this for like the past 6 months about making a pirate journal. And I have like 3 pages left in my current journal. And when I say 3 pages, I mean like 3 sides to work on, not 3 pages, which would be 6 sides. But anyway, so I was feeling pretty rushed to work on this journal. I was trying to hold off until after I was done my custom and done the journals for you guys so that I could just totally dive in and focus on working on my pirate journal, because I have big plans for it. But I was feeling really pressured because obviously my journal's running out, and yeah. So I did solve the problem, which you'll see in a minute, but first let's talk about this. So with my pirate journal, I said I'm not going to make a giant one because I want to be able to take it with me. Like the one I have right now with the boy on the front isn't super portable. I can take it with me, but it's not like, it's kind of a take it with me, leave it in the car type thing. Like I'm not lugging it into like anywhere, and I'm not taking it to the beach or anything. And I wanted my pirate journal to come to the beach with me because that's where I like to spend my summer. And pirates, beaches, you know, it all goes together. Well, then my aunt brought me this cover that you saw me working on before this one right now. We'll get to the one I'm working on right now. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I have to make my pirate journal in it. Not only is it just as big as my current journal, but the spine is like a little bigger. It's about the same size, but it's a little bigger. So I tried to convince myself to use a different cover, and it wasn't going to happen. Then my aunt had given me this tiny ledger. It's not really tiny. To me, it's tiny. It's like a B6 size, probably. A little narrower. But anyway, I said, what if I make a journal inside of a journal? Which would be really cool. Because usually if I go to the beach, I'm not like sketching and I'm not gluing photos in or anything. I'm just writing. And if I take my journal anywhere, unless I'm like going on vacation, which I never do, but anyway, I would probably take the whole thing. But I thought, what if I use this little ledger booklet thing to just bind writing paper into, and then I can make a traveler's notebook elastic in the center of the giant journal and put my other journal signatures on the like outer sides. I don't know if that makes any sense. I can see it in my head, but I can't show it to you because I'm not doing it right now. But anyway, I thought it was a brilliant idea. I'm super psyched about it, and I hope it works out the way I think it's going to. But yeah, what you've seen me do with these two covers, as I've been blabbing on, is I removed the insides of both the journals, and then I reinforced the spine, and I what am I trying to say? Used bookbinder's tape, and I just made new spine for the other one. Anyway, if you want to see more in-depth process of that, my camera just fell over. That's what you saw. I will leave my DIY journal playlist linked for you. You can find all the techniques I do: softcover, hardcover, reinforcing the spine, binding your pages in, all the basics you need to know to make your own journal. Anyway, finally to my solution, because I'm like out of breath. Finally to my solution, which is I remembered I had bought this awesome journal from Crafting Vicky like in like January or February, which I'm super excited about, and I hadn't started using it obviously because I wasn't done my other journal. And I said, you know what, I need to take my time on my pirate journal, and this journal from Crafting Vicky, it's not super, it's not as long as my other journal, and the pages are smaller, so I'm hoping that I can power through it in like a month and a half. High hopes. So that I can start using my pirate journal when summer is still there, but I'm really excited to use that. Anyway, I'm making a closure for that because Leanne's Ultra, and you know, yeah. So I punched some holes and I put the eyelets in, and then I decided to go crazy and dye my lace black to match the black, you know, the blackness of the journal. And I've done this technique before. I did it actually for the custom journal that I just did for Phoenix, but I don't know what it is. I used like supposedly permanent black ink, and I used Dilutions for other ones, and that didn't rub off. So I don't know what the dealio was with that, but I put it on my journal after the ribbon like dried, and the ink comes off on my hand, and I'm super salty about it, but we'll get to that in a second. What I'm doing here is I want to use the ephemera that Vicky put in the journal while I'm journaling, but I discovered in my last journal that I really don't work by pulling paper clipped pieces out. Like I found I was just taking stuff out and then throwing it in a folder. Oh, also, don't be alarmed. I ripped this page out because I freaking love these aliens so much. Yeah, it was like a coloring page, so it didn't damage the book at all. But I needed to cut those aliens out and glue them on pages. I couldn't just use the page. I just had to. I'm so excited about that. But anyway, for those of you, you're probably cringing, but you know, whatever. So taking all the paper clipped bits out and putting them in one of my Iris photo cases so that it's all together and I can use it with the journal, but the actual journal is going to be just pages because, yeah, it's just how I work. And you do you. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. But yeah, Vicky's work is awesome. I will leave her Etsy shop linked below, and her channel if you've not checked her out. You definitely should. She makes journals periodically, and her Etsy shop is pretty well stocked usually with different things. I have a art piece of hers that I really like that's hung up in my workspace. So yeah, here I am just decorating the front cover because, again, ultra or crazy, one or the other. But I like to think I'm the good kind of crazy, you know? So yeah, but yeah, definitely check out Vicky's work. Now, she does make the game board journal sometimes, but I am waiting for her next one. And if you were following too closely and snag it before me, I might have to, you know, I'd be angry at you. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I really do. I love the game journal. She does. Now I'm just talking nonsense. But we still have like 2 minutes of the video left. So I'm just fooling around with things. I have a sticker that I'm working with, this pineapple, because I'm itching for summer. If you could not tell, I inked a library card that I put in the pocket. Well, it was already in the pocket, but I inked the library card. I paper clipped Vicky's business card to it and stuck it in the pocket there. Then I have some, I think these are actually all pen pal bits that I just used. So go me, or go pen pals. So thank you all for that. But just making collage stuff, and then I'm taking my white pen and making a border around the outside just to tie it all together and kind of point you in the direction to the right. As you know, the collage gets a little cluttered, but it's totally my style and I'm totally okay with it. So now, of course, I need to add a phrase with the eyes and that sticker palette. And I had printed out some quotes forever ago, and I just found them while I was cleaning my ephemera stash. For those of you that asked for an update on my organization, it will be coming. I just don't have a ton to update you on yet because I'm busy working on other things. So yeah, that will be coming. I'll do like an updated room tour or whatever, organization tour. But anyway, it says, "It's not what you look at, it's what you see." That's by me. Yep, pretty brilliant. Thanks. Then I'm taking these iron-on star patches, another score from my aunt. My aunt finds the coolest shit, like seriously. So I have a handful of those, which I have been hoarding. I have been using them. I used one pack so far, and it just broke into the second. So yeah, that's the decoration of the inside cover. This is the next day where, you know, remember I was telling you about this ribbon thing. So I put the dyed ribbon in, and I got all salty because it was rubbing off on my hand, and I was having one of those OC days, and yeah, it was just not having it. So I ripped that out, and then I took some black ribbon, some black satin ribbon, and redid the closure. And I didn't do it in this video, but I will tell you that I took the black ribbon closure off that you will see me put on, and I put the one that you see now back on the book. Now, whether that will stay or not, since, you know, I'm extra salty about it rubbing off of my hand, we will see. Hoping that eventually it will just stop coming off. Because, again, I've dyed ribbons for custom journals and, like, made sure that, like, when you rub it, the stuff doesn't come off, and they didn't on those. So I don't know what the problem is, but yeah. So that's enough about that. And that's pretty much it. That's my Creative Week video this week, guys. So my next Etsy release will be on Thursday, May 17th. The journals go live in Etsy at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the videos go up to be shown for the previews the same day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think I forgot to say that last time in my announcement, but set your clocks for that. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of my, blabbering, crafty, whateverness. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Have a great week. Bye.